Hey, welcome. You've probably noticed that our digital tools are getting way smarter. They're evolving from just being simple helpers to, well, something more like complex partners. Today, we're going to trace that incredible journey all the way from the most basic code to systems that can actually think. All right, let's dive in. So, this is really the big question for today, right? We see it happening all around us, in everything from our calendars to how we create content. But what's the big picture here? What is this evolution actually leading to? To figure that out, we've got to start at the very beginning. So, our first stop is the kind of automation that just hums along quietly in the background. You don't even see it, but it is the absolute foundation that everything else is built on top of. And it all starts with something you've probably heard of: a simple script. So, what exactly is a script? Well, think of it like a digital specialist. It's just a focused set of commands that knows how to do one thing and one thing only really well. It'll do it over and over again and never get bored, never make a typo. It's pretty much the workhorse of the digital world. A perfect everyday example is something we can call a calendar link composer. You know how it is, we've all had to manually copy and paste event details to make an invite for someone. A script like this just completely automates that whole tedious process. So how does the magic actually happen? It's pretty straightforward, really. The code just grabs the event details you give it, the title, date, time, whatever. Then it acts like a translator, reformatting that data into the specific language that Google Calendar and Outlook understand. And finally, boom, it builds those custom add to calendar links for you. Simple, efficient, and totally focused on that one job. Okay, that's great for a single task, but what happens when you need to manage an entire process with a bunch of different steps? Well, that brings us to the next massive leap in this evolution, where we go from handling just one task to managing a whole workflow. And this is where we see a huge jump in what's possible. We are literally moving from a single script that automates one little thing, like making a calendar link, to a single, really sophisticated prompt that can orchestrate a whole series of tasks, the entire workflow all at once.
So let me introduce you to Maya. That stands for the Master AI YouTube Management Assistant. And Maya isn't just a tool, it's more like a strategist. It's built from one single, incredibly powerful prompt that's designed to guide a creator through the whole life cycle of making a video, from that first little spark of an idea all the way to managing the community around it.
Just look at this breakdown. With just one command, Maya can switch between all these different jobs. You need ideas? Boom, it's brainstorming viral hooks. Ready to actually make the thing? It'll help you with outlines and even thumbnail ideas. And after it's published, it's optimizing your SEO and even drafting promotional posts. This isn't just automation anymore. This is like managed creativity. Okay, so we've gone from a script that does one thing to an assistant that manages a whole process. What could possibly be next? Well, the next level is a system that doesn't just do things, it actually understands and can explain itself. This is where it gets wild. This quote, this is from a document for a system called Mother MAE, and it is pretty mind-bending. It tells us we're looking at something fundamentally different. The AI isn't just spitting out content anymore, it's producing a media-aware reasoning product spec. Okay, but what on earth does that actually mean? Okay, here's the crucial bit. Mother MAE is so advanced that when you ask it to describe itself, it doesn't just write a paragraph. It generates an entire professional, multi-format media kit that explains its own purpose and how it works. And the keyword here is validated. It actually checks its own work to make sure every single piece is consistent and accurate. And just look at what it delivers. We're not talking about a text file. We are talking about a finished infographic, a cinematic video script, a concept for a vertical short, a full-blown executive slide deck, and even a narrative script that's ready to be fed into a video AI like Sora. It literally created its own marketing campaign, ready to go. And this isn't just random. The system follows this really logical, structured process. First, it detects the situation, like, hey, describe yourself. Then it routes that request to the right internal team. It activates what's called a mixture of experts, which is kind of like a team of specialized AIs to generate all the different outputs. And then, and this is the critical part, it validates everything to make sure it's all coherent and correct. It's literally checking its own homework. So, after seeing this incredible evolution from a simple script to,
Well, what does this all mean for us? How does our role change when our tools get this powerful? When you lay it all out like this, the path is just crystal clear. We started by writing a simple script. Then we moved on to prompting a capable assistant. And now we're learning to orchestrate a self-aware system. Each step is just a massive leap in power and in how we think about the work. And this right here is the key takeaway. For decades, our job was to be the coder, right? To write every single line, every instruction. But now, our role is becoming much more like a conductor of an orchestra. We're not playing every single instrument, but we are guiding the entire symphony to create something beautiful and coherent. We provide the vision, the intent. This whole journey has been pretty incredible, right? Moving from simple instructions to complex, actual reasoning. But of course, it leads us to one final, really important question about what's coming next. So I'll leave you with this. If a system can not only do a task, but can understand, explain, and validate its own purpose and its own work, what does that leave for us? What becomes the uniquely human part of the job in a world of digital cognition? It's definitely something to think about. Thanks for joining me.